royal and quiet stretch of I-71 in the great state of Ohio stands a sign representative of this provincial battle. It spells out, hell is real.
This is something pretty special.
It's going to be fast, intense from the first whistle.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
This is bonkers.
110 miles divide these clubs.
What a scene it is.
I've got goosebumps.
The old versus the new. The black and yellow hosting the orange and blue.
And it's not at home.
Wow. Phenomenal strike.
Columbus Crew. FC Cincinnati on FS1.
Well, rivalry week wouldn't be complete without another edition of the Hell is Real Derby. It promises to be an electric atmosphere as the Columbus Crew hosts FC Cincinnati. The Crew hoping Cucho Hernandez, club record signing, can continue his remarkable start to life in MLS. The Colombian already on target 3 times in 2 games. Today, he makes his first start. Cincinnati, with a prolific striker of their own in Brandon Vasquez, his 10 goals are just 3 off the league lead. The young American determined to add to that total today. Welcome to another players-only edition of our MLS pregame. Stu Holden alongside Kobe Jones and Alexi Lalas. First of all, Alexi Lalas, is hell real? We've got the Hell is Real Derby, my friend.
It is. I've been to Ohio. You've been to Ohio, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. It's a good state. Good people there. I once got pulled over in Ohio by one of Ohio's finest, probably on one of those roads that we saw in that open. I'm glad I made it out alive, so hell is real.
Kobe, what do you expect today?
Oh, it's going to be a wide open game the way I look at it. I mean, you have 2 teams that are very focused on the offensive side of things. The defensive side, we'll see.
Well, it's been a busy weekend across Major League Soccer. And earlier today, Atlanta played host to Orlando in another rivalry match.
Uh-oh.
Joseph Martinez.
Uh-oh.
Orlando, he actually
happy.
started on the bench.
He looks
and it
happy.
didn't start so well for Atlanta United, Lex.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Right in the far corner here, everyone's screaming and yelling, hey, listen, you got to go when that whistle goes. So, problems.
And
Atlanta
in comes
losing at home.
Joseph, down to man.
Put Joseph in.
Sorry, down to goal, rather. And then a late free kick here into the box. Equalizer.
Absolutely fantastic goal. Great service.
So we mentioned that Joseph Martinez is in the game. Gets himself an opportunity right here at the end of the game. Oh, smacks it off the near post. But good to see him getting those opportunities and on the field.
Orlando actually also hit the post in added time there and almost stole that one on the road. Yesterday, Philadelphia Union hosting the New England Revolution. They were trailing in this one, 75th minute. Ooh-ah, off the bench to equalize.
Ventures in goalkeeping. Interesting. Penalty.
Penalty?
Oh, everybody knows.
Do not extend the arms. Ref's going to call that every single time.
Upstead, Gazdag slams that one home, and the Union still atop of the Eastern Conference. The Red Bulls taking on New York City FC, Hudson River Derby. Look at this pass, and who's on the end of it?
Take one guess.
Yeah.
Pigeons.
Tate.
Castellanos again outside of the foot. Yeah, we hear you. Pigeons, take it.
No other.
New York is blue. When I say New York, I mean New Jersey, too.
How much longer do we see this man in Major League Soccer? Well, here's a look now at the Credible.com Eastern Conference standings. Philadelphia Union, as we said, in first place. New York City FC just 1 point behind. And Charlotte, the last team above the playoff line. But Columbus could leapfrog them today, both Charlotte and Cincinnati, with a win. Plenty of developments as well in the Western Conference. Coming up, we'll bring you those highlights, including the showdown between FC Dallas and Austin for the Copa Tejas. Plus, we'll continue getting you ready for the clash at Lower.com Field. Lucas Zelarayan has done a lot of damage against Cincinnati. Can he deliver today? Well, this weekend's match is occurring against the backdrop of some sad news. This past Wednesday, Sean Jensen passed away. Sean was a valuable member of the MLS family, serving for over 15 years as the director of New England's regional broadcast. He leaves behind his wife and 2 children.
Nearly 150 years of experience goes into making each and every Continental tire. So you can trust with total confidence that our tires will deliver superior performance, no matter where the road takes you. Continental Tire, for what you do.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody.
Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go, why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
I'm a fancy exercise bike newbie, and I've gone from 0 to obsessed in like 3 days. Woo! Come on, Milwaukee, after riding 12 miles of nowhere, I'm taking a detour. And if you don't have the right home insurance coverage, you could be working out a way to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
It's true. Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy S22 with a Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition.
Really? Even if my old phone looks like this?
Dude, why?
How could you? It's okay, people. I've trained for this.
It's not complicated. New and existing customers get a free new Samsung Galaxy S22 with the Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition.
Morning, noon, night. Indulgent, delicious, irresistible. Fancy Feast makes delighting your cat delightfully easy. Every recipe, every last detail. Another fancy way to show your love. Fancy Feast. Give your cat the world with globally inspired medleys.
Lately, someone's been stealing my thunder using my Old Spice body wash. It takes thick skin to embody a god.
Get a load of this guy.
It smells of Old Spice lavender.
Old Spice. Marvel Studios store Love and Thunder, only in theaters.
Is Dad posting a farewell to his favorite college freshman?
Nope. He's switching his choice cashback category to gas. The road to college can be emotional, but also rewarding.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
Domino's online carryout deal now includes our delicious oven-baked dips and twist combos for $7.99 each. So let's play a word association game. Dips and twists?
$7.99.
AP swings?
$7.99.
3-topping pizzas?
$7.99.
The only place to get this deal?
Domino's.
Our Copa America Femenina coverage continues tomorrow. The Group B doubleheader begins with Venezuela taking on Brazil and then Peru facing off against Uruguay. Not long ago, it looked like Brenner could be headed back to Brazil, but the 22-year-old has turned around his Cincinnati career. Today, he starts versus Columbus. This, another busy weekend across the league, and we resume our highlights in the Lone Star State. Yesterday, FC Dallas squared off against visiting Austin FC, who are top of the league currently. Two Americans involved in this play. Jesus Ferreira rolling across.
Look at Jesus Ferreira on that left-hand side, puts it into Paul Arreola, two national team players. Good chance we'll see them in Qatar. Going well in Dallas.
Uh-oh. Can't lose the ball there, Kobe.
Oh, boy.
Cannot do it. This is just great combination play. 1, 2, 3. Find that back post, side netting.
Driussi another assist, and Fagundes with another goal. Chicago taking on a struggling Seattle Sounders side currently in MLS play.
Look at this whole mess of a play, but ultimately, wonderful ball in, you know.
Who's that?
Get your center back. Get your center back out to do the job. Yeah, it's Chios. Of course it is. Said that's how it's done. All right, back of the net, goal and win against Seattle. Seattle continues to struggle.
Colorado hosting an LA Galaxy team who had lost 2 straight coming into this one. You might want to make that one through.
Yeah, you can't leave Rubio wide open at the top of the box. Someone's got to step up to him. And this is self-inflicted. Self-inflicted.
A little back heel?
Yeah. Woo! Back heel to a former Galaxy man, Giassi Zardes, finding the back of the net.
And a look now at Credible.com Western Conference standings. Austin FC on top. Although they played 2 more games than LAFC, who are in action today, the Galaxy clinging on to that final playoff spot, and that could change depending on the result between Portland and Vancouver later tonight. Well, after the Galaxy's loss, defender Derek Williams with some interesting comments about his team's performance. Let's take a listen.
We're not playing as a team. There's a lot of people playing as individuals. The manager gives us clear instructions, and there's times where people don't want to do that, and it's frustrating. I feel for the staff because they put so much work in, and then when it comes to the game, some people just have their own agendas, and it's frustrating. And yeah, we can't just keep going on like this because it's not good enough, and we want to be. We're sick of losing. It's just not good enough.
I'm going to give Kobe a chance to comment on that in a second because it takes us to another edition of our offside and onside. And first up, as you would expect, the LA Galaxy will miss the playoffs for the third straight season. Is that onside or offside, Kobe Jones?
Offside. And the reason being is, as Williams said, there's individual agendas going on, and I think the coaching staff is going to correct all that. We have to look at, yes, they did lose the last couple of matches, last 3 matches, but those last 2, they were missing a couple of players on the spine of their team. You're talking about Chicharito, you're talking about Mark Delgado, who's arguably one of the best pickups in the league. So I think once they sort this out, have some internal meetings, put some people, hold their feet to the fire, I think things get sorted out and they go well.
Big Red squirming over
No.
there.
Yeah. I think it's going to be close, like you said, but I think ultimately LA doesn't make the playoffs. And by the way, he feels bad for the staff. I feel bad for the Galaxy fans. All right, Greg Vanning, fix it. You got to fix it. You're the head guy there. Fix it. Get them playing better.
All right. Well, Seattle Sounders. Now let's talk about fixing. They've never missed the postseason in their franchise career. Even if that streak continues, Lex, the Sounders will lose in the first round of the playoffs, onside or offside?
Offside. Look, they are insufferable up there. However, they are really good. Despite their results right now. Yes, that hangover continues when it comes to CONCACAF Champions League, but I'm not going to bet against a Seattle Sounders team that just consistently makes the playoffs, does well in the playoffs. I'm not going to bet against Schmetzer. You're going to bet against Schmetzer?
No, not against Schmetzer.
Of course not. So, yes, they will make the playoffs, and they will win that first round matchup.
Okay, our next one takes us over to the black and gold. LAFC making some big moves, despite what Philly think about them over there. Gareth Bale, Giorgio Chiellini will lead them to an MLS Cup. Offside, onside?
Offside. Way too early. They haven't even played a game yet. We got to see how these guys do on the field as a unit playing together. And until I see that, I'm not going to say that they're going to be going all the way to MLS Cup and winning it all.
Okay. Another one, going back to European names, Wayne Rooney, who is now the DC United head coach. He will make them a flagship franchise once again. Onside, offside?
Flagship?
Flagship. I said
playoffs? I mean, come on. No, he's not going to make them a flagship again. I do think that he does bring some cachet, and I guess they can't do any worse. And when he picks up that phone, maybe there are some players that say, hey, Wayne Rooney wants me to come play for that team. If that's the case, there is value to that. But flagship, they're a long way from being a flagship.
And let's keep in mind, this is still just his 3rd season as a head coach. And now his first in Major League Soccer.
You feel bad for him?
I don't feel bad for him. No, it's a great opportunity. Darlington Nagbe now in his 3rd season in Columbus, which means he's a veteran of the Hellersville Derby. We'll relive some of the memorable moments in this meeting, in this rivalry next. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by Audi.
Los de thoughts nos gustan hard. Oh, how I love to sing for food. Oh, I love bread. Tenemos sed. Oh, how I love to order food. Pasta, pollo, fries, or pizza. Carne asada and 6-packs too.
Open. Here you go, buddy. Thank you.
You may kiss the bride.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, Dad.
Oh my God. It's our baby girl.
Beneful knows a full life doesn't just happen. It's a choice to take a swing or take that big leap, to taste all life has to offer. Because a joyful life is a Beneful life.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Oral treatments can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms first appear. If you have symptoms of COVID-19, even if they're mild, don't wait. Get tested quickly. If you test positive and are at high risk for severe disease, act fast. Ask if an oral treatment is right for you. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too.
Pizza Hut's got 2 mediums for just $6.99 each. That's less than $1 a slice.
Got 2 more slices.
So much pizza.
My pizza.
What?
Carry out 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. No one outpitches the Hut.
Tuesday, the City of Stars is going supernova. All the heavy hitters will be in LA. So get ready, because the All-Star Game is back in Tinseltown. And we're rolling out the red, white, and blue carpet. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
I'm Gabby Lewis, co-founder of Magic Spoon. We grew up loving cereal, but as we got older, we realized it's mostly terrible for you. So we went on a journey to see if it was possible to recreate that taste and texture, but with actually good ingredients. Taste the magic for yourself at magicspoon.com.
As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep, I was stressed about it, and there were few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Introducing the all-new one-wheel GT and Pint X. GT, built with more power to crush new terrain. Pint X, twice the range to take on the city. 2 new boards to make everywhere epic. Get riding today at onewheel.com.
Later this year, all eyes will be on Qatar. We are now just 127 days away from the start of the 2022 World Cup. Fox Sports, once again, your home for the greatest sporting event on the planet. Up next, Columbus hosts Cincinnati. This rivalry dates back to the USL days. In 2017, they stunned the Crew in a US Open Cup match at Nippert Stadium. The first MLS meeting, though, was a 4-0 goal thriller. In August 2019, Emmanuel Ledesma found the back of the net for Cincinnati, but Pedro Santos able to connect on a spectacular long distance strike. That one was 2-2. These clubs squared off in Orlando during the MLS's back tournament. Lucas Zelarayan showcasing his free kick abilities once again. The Crew's 4-0 win, the biggest ever in this series. Things much more competitive in the last season. A seesaw affair featured a goal from Matarrita and then a late double from Miguel Berry, which handed Columbus the dramatic 3-2 win. Today, the 10th meeting in all competitions. Columbus seeking their 5th victory. Lawless Cincinnati have only beaten them once. Here is how Columbus line up today.
All right, yeah, I mean, plenty of talent from top to bottom, including in goal, Eli Room, the 33-year-old Dutchman in his 4th season there. Aiden Morris, the young 20-year-old homegrown, missed all last season with an ACL, but he's back there partnering Darlington Nagbe there. Etienne leads the team with his 5 goals. You mentioned Lucas Zelarayan with his 4 goals and 8 assists, maybe really the beneficiary of the man of the moment, the man we're talking about, Cucho Hernandez, the Colombian designated player, 23 years old. He already has 3 goals in 73 minutes. He gets his first start today, rumored to be a $10 million transfer fee. And it was really just interesting to hear his coach, Caleb Porter, talk about the change that has happened for this team with the arrival of this player. And that is why this player is my DoorDash player to watch. By the way, I'm so hungry right now. Anyway, we're going to watch this game and we're going to watch this player because he has come in and now he gets his first start. He scores goals, which is the most difficult thing to do in our game. And when you have a goal scorer, whether you're a center back, whether you're a goalkeeper, or whether you're another attacking player, and you can rely on someone to put the ball on the back of the net, that is worth its weight in gold. And there's plenty of gold that's being spent on this guy.
Well, and for Columbus, they get a key man in the starting lineup in Cucho Hernandez. Cincinnati missing one, an important absence today in Luciano Acosta. The Argentine suspended 2 matches due to an incident with the referee on July 9th against the Red Bulls. Whoa. MLS disciplinary committee determining that Acosta exhibited aggressive behavior and made unwanted physical contact with a match official. There, he was getting Aaron Long's face.
He was an attempt.
There, too.
Do that headbutt. He was too small of a headbutt. Oh, my God. Goodbye. Goodbye. You can't do that. You can't do that.
That means that, as we said, Acosta missing out. But this is how FC Cincinnati line up today, and a lot of changes for Pat Noonan.
Yeah, a lot of changes, and you're going to see one of the biggest changes is the formation. They're actually going to play 4 in the back. Murphy and Hagelin in those center positions as Cameron and Beckett are out due to rotation. And then you see Alan Cruz actually coming back into the lineup after serving his red card suspension. And I think Kubo likes that because he gets to go to that right midfield position along with Brenner, Villarreal, and then, of course, Brandon Vasquez, the goal scorer, 18 starts and 10 goals. Not bad.
Yeah, Vasquez telling us yesterday he dreams of a place in the U.S.'s World Cup squad. A look now at the target expected goal shows that he's performing right around his expected output, which leads me, Kobe, does he have a chance at that? And what do you like about his game?
What I like about him is what we see right here, just running off with the back shoulders, going in between the lines, and he's just a true goal scorer. When we talk about strikers, that number 9 position, we like to see a certain style. Just looking at him there, he's a specimen of a man, as Alexi would say there. He's big, and I think also under Pat Noonan, under Dominic Kinnear, he's got a little bit of that old school style that he's a striker that can hold the ball up, but he's also going to bang up the defenders as well. And we like to see that in this modern age. A buff guy out there, ready to do it. And of course, he scores
with a passport, an American passport. Bring him in. What are we doing here?
Well, in addition to the rivalry, these two clubs battling for playoff spots in the East. Plenty more at stake. Kickoff coming up next.
Bodies that look like this also move like this. Rise like this.
Flex like this. And this, and this.
My family couldn't understand why I wouldn't take the first job that came along. But I'm not gonna settle. I know what I'm worth.
I've been a lot of places, but there's something about when I come home.
Wide open, I noticed, I chosen.
Yeah.
Get the Jack Harlow meal, now at KFC.
MasterChef travels the world.
Jamaica, Ethiopia.
I should have paid attention in geography.
We're looking for Southern fusion dishes. Will it be fusion or confusion?
Well, peanut gravy is just bizarre.
In all new MasterChef Back to Win, Wednesday on Fox.
Sorry, I just locked in a great refinancing rate for my student loans with Credible.com.
Woo! I'm the Credible.
It's either credible or it's not.
Men over 50, here's important information. You don't have to put up with the effects of an aging prostate any longer. Scientists at Nugenix have developed full-potency prostate. Why trust it to work? First, full-potency prostate contains an exclusive combination of 4 clinically validated key ingredients found in no other product worldwide. Second, each of those key ingredients is at the full potency levels validated in the clinical studies. Third, it's from the man-boosting experts at Nugenix. They're so confident it works, they're offering 1 million complimentary samples. Just text the number below. Full potency prostate is guaranteed to reduce nighttime bathroom trips and urgency, promote better bladder emptying, even improve male vitality. Get your complimentary sample now. Text RACE to 369369. Text now and we'll include a box of Nugenix Cellular Energy for time-release energy without the jitters, absolutely free. That's RACE to 369369.
2 players, 1 team. Boy, you have blossomed into something special right now.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games.
I know what my roots are. My roots are defensive line pressure zone. I still got 1 sack left in me. If you are what you eat, then you are who you be. That's a one-piece spicy right there, boy. I'm not playing when I talk about the game. I love your fire takes when you just drop the mic. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell is real.
This is something pretty special.
It's going to be fast, intense from the first whistle.
Here we go. Oh, my goodness. This is bonkers.
110 miles divide these clubs.
What a scene it is.
I've got goosebumps.
The old versus the new. The black and yellow. Hosting the orange and blue.
And it's not at home.
Wow. Phenomenal strike.
Columbus Crew. FC Cincinnati on FS1.
And it is a sold-out
crowd in Columbus, Ohio that gets the highlight on the final day of MLS Rivalry Week for the latest meeting of Hell is Real between the Columbus Crew and FC Cincinnati. Hello, everyone, and welcome alongside Stu Holden. I'm John Strong, and for the first time, these teams meet with Cincinnati above Columbus in the standings. Fantastic individual storylines in this one, Stu. Beyond the big picture rivalry, what are you most excited for in the moments before kickoff?
Well, can we find out if Cincinnati can really hang now in this rivalry and make a stand? But this game, and we heard it from both coaches, is about putting the ball in the back of the net and having people that can do that. And boy, Cucho Hernandez has completely changed the dynamic of the Crew in and around goal. Just gives them a different threat and dynamic. But on the other side, FC Cincinnati have had a couple of guys who have been scoring goals. Brandon Vasquez with 10 goals on the year. Brenner starting to heat up, 5 goals in his last 5 games. Can they continue that? But there's certainly some firepower now on both sides and an ability to really put the ball in the back of the net.
Crew coach Caleb Porter talking to us yesterday about a team that's just scratching the surface of what they can be. He said there's no good team in MLS without a good goal scorer. We finally have our good goal scorer. He's lifting everyone. He thinks this team is primed for a big second half run. Pat Noonan on the other side, his first year as a head coach, has taken Cincinnati from the bottom of the league to playoff contention, but they've been struggling of late, dropping points. He said, we're reminding these guys they're a good team. We got to stay hungry, though, and he said the mentality, we have to avoid the trap of, here we go again when the goals go against us, and hell hath no fury like a Midwestern summer thunderstorm. An inch of rain that has fallen throughout the day in Columbus. Importantly, though, no lightning. The rain has picked up just in the last few minutes, and it just adds to the scene. It is a 9th meeting since Cincinnati joined MLS in 2019. The rivalry got its nickname 2 years before then. Only 1 win for Cincinnati in MLS play was in the fall of 2020. Both meetings last year, Columbus came from behind to get results. Can this be the breakthrough FC Cincinnati are trying to get in what has been their best season to date? You get the sense of a Cincinnati team for which this is a big moment if they can take advantage against a Columbus team starting to surge. Big moment for Marcos de Oliveira as well. Just his 75th career game. He's been an MLS ref for 8 years. He still is sort of half the time a 4th official, half the time a center referee. So it's a great opportunity for him to take charge of this showpiece game. And we'll see how we can handle it if things get hot. So in front of a sold-out crowd of 20,000 at Lower.com Field, including a couple of hundred fans who have made the 100-mile trip up I-71, we are underway. It is the Columbus Crew in yellow. It is FC Cincinnati in blue. And if we told you that over the last 10 weeks, one of these teams has been at or above the playoff line, while the other has been mostly below the playoff line for the better part of 2 months, would you think we're talking about? The one that won MLS Cup a year and a half ago, or the one that has finished bottom of the league each of the last 3 years? Well, that's kind of what this year has been like in MLS. Cincinnati, their best season already, the most wins they've ever had, and yet it could be so much better. Only New England have dropped more points from winning positions than Cincinnati have. Columbus on the other side started well. The bottom fell out in May. They had a stretch of 5 losses in 8 games. They've been below the playoff line for 10 straight weeks. They're only below on a tiebreaker right now, and a chance to leapfrog their rival Cincinnati into the playoff picture with a win as Cucho Hernandez gets his welcome to MLS and hell is real moment on his first start as he takes the game's first foul. Stu, how do we expect this one to look? This is a different Columbus team with Cucho starting, and it's a different look for Cincinnati without Luciano Acosta.
And I think looking at this one and looking at the personnel on the field right now, looking at the streak that Columbus are on, unbeaten in their last 7 matches, unbeaten in home against FC Cincinnati, the way that Caleb Porter feels about his team, it sets up for a Columbus win, right? Well, this is a different FC Cincinnati team under Pat Noonan. They have a better mentality. They're competitive.
Trying to get Luis Diaz on the outside. The cross was knocked down. Moreira clipping that back into the middle. Yuya Kubo settles, and Hagelin at least partially clear. How can they run the other way? Brandon Vasquez. Kubo starting out wide, rolls that into the tight offside decision. Vasquez playing on from an angle, cuts it into the middle of the back post, kick save, and a beauty from Room. That was Barrial who's appealing, saying across the line. It's one back by Cincinnati. Here's Brenner. Barrial wants it. Brenner keeps it. Cruz calling forward as well. They're all stacking up at the top of the box. It's poke free for Nelson. Room is there to collect.
This is the other
room for the fans.
Yeah, Vasquez's movement, and that's a tight one, but he bends his run into the wide areas. You see them do this quite a bit. One of the differences today, he's playing up front by himself. He's got Brenner underneath. What a pick out, too, finding Barrial at the back post, and it's Room making a fantastic save in the end. But that ball, wow, what a good ball. And no, it did not clear the line, cross the line, rather. Room gets his foot on it before, but that ball beats 3 Columbus defenders. Barrial at the back post, and you have to say, the form he's been in as well, that should be in the back of the net. That's a big miss early, but great running off the ball from Vasquez.
Etienne Jr. played for Cincinnati a handful of games in the fall of 2019. He's forced backwards there. Mensa, who was suspended Wednesday night. Both teams in action Wednesday. Both teams blowing late leads and draws. That cross for Guccio popped in the air by Ian Murphy and out for a Columbus corner.
And this is something you've seen Cucho Hernandez do in his 73 minutes before today, is just running along the last defender. Look at him right now, his movement in the box. Between the 2 center backs, hand up calling for it, makes the run into the space that allows the pass to come in behind, almost gets on the end of it. Corner for the Crew.
Around to take 2 assists in each of the last 2 games. His outswinging ball, boy, Brenner missed it. It's popped in the air by Aiden Morris. Vasquez wins the second header over Mensa. They knocked heads. Mensa's the worst off of the 2 right now. Here's Etienne. Cuts inside, ran away from him, cleared out. Again for Luis Diaz from Zelarayan. Steven Moreira returns it for Zelarayan. Every Columbus player right now in Cincinnati's half of the field. Santos. Cucho Hernandez once again knocked away by Hagel as he was trying to get it in for Etienne. Vasquez again all by himself right there, and it's Aiden Morris, the 20-year-old, cleaning that up.
That's going to be a big part of the game for FC Cincinnati, is getting out in transition when they win the ball back. And with the personnel being banged up, they're back into a back 4. Predominantly been playing into 3. The last time they played with a back 4 was May 28th. So this is a team that's trying to understand this formation in a different way, in the way they're defending. Watching them defend right now with 2 banks of 4, and then trying to find Vasquez and Brenner to release, but right now they just can't release. And this is all Columbus piling on the pressure, squeezing the game, good positions. Just can't break down this defense right now, though.
That went too far for Moreira to track down. Matt Noonan told us yesterday, so much of what we do is based around Lucho. That's Luciano Acosta's nickname. He said, this is really just about trying to get our best group on the field somehow. We'll change the formation, we'll move it around. Acosta, as you saw, was given the red card a week ago against the Red Bulls. And then the physical contact with the referee, 2 added games. Cincinnati appealed. They were very upset. They felt that that was just not really what the situation was, but the professional referees organization understandably wants to set a hard line about contact with referees, and the disciplinary committee added those 2 games. But Acosta's an MVP candidate, tied for the league lead coming into the week in assists and combined goals and assists. It's a huge miss for a Cincinnati team trying to win in Columbus for the first time ever, as Kubo tackled off it by Darlington Nagbe. Vasquez. Look at that, rising up to win that header and steer it for Yuya Kubo. Return to the outside for Brenner. He's been on fire lately. Kubo once again, deflected cross up in the air. Mensah first to react. Is trying to keep that in play for Kubo. Brenner felt some contact, goes down. Cruz comes away with the ball. Cruz fires it in front, too far for Vasquez. Ariel chases it down on the other side. Ariel would force that kick save out of Eloy Room in the opening moments of the game. Rubino Roboto there on the ball, wearing the armband for the first time with Acosta suspended.
That's a good spell from Cincinnati right now. Control the game, finding Brenner. Brenner's had a lively start and in this number 10 position has more freedom to drift wide and unbalance the Columbus defense. And they were able to get in down that right-hand side between him and Kubo. There's a touch from Kubo wayward and Columbus back in possession. But a good look at goal again, almost picking out Vasquez in the box.
Good step there to pick that up by Ian Murphy, the rookie on Zelarayana, who gives the pass away looking for Vasquez. Cucho. Etienne on the outside. Here's Derek Etienne Jr. He's quietly having a career year as well for Columbus with all the attention on Cucho and Zelarayana right now. Cucho trying to play provider to Diaz. Aiden Morris. Zelarayana. Herrera drops it back in for Zelarayana. Cucho. Aiden Morris, Herrera, chance for Cucho through traffic, ends up wide.
This is great play from the crew, and you're going to see Cucho dropping underneath, Zelarayana then taking the space forward, they moving the ball, shifting the Cincinnati defense so well. That ball from Zelarayana starts it as Herrera gets into the attack, and now watch Cucho drop underneath. Where's the space? Okay, Morris turns out, plays inside, and then it's Zelarayana trying to get on the end of it, and then Cucho on the trailing run from behind, and that's what's so difficult there for Cincinnati to pick up. Hagelin goes all the way with Cucho Hernandez, then has to drop up to get back in shape, and it leaves him free at the top of the box, ends up just dragging it wide, but a nice move from Columbus there, and just showing a look at that new look attack for them.
Camilo Hernandez, 23 years old from Colombia. The nickname Cucho, there's sort of two origins. Number one is Esteban Cambiaso, who was a star player from Argentina, Inter Milan. When Cucho was a young man and really a kid, his dad would shave his head, so he looked like Cambiaso, who was nicknamed Cucho. And also is a Colombian slang word that sort of means old man. And as I said in interviews, he sort of had that growling look as a kid. That's where he get the nickname from. Here's Etienne now for Columbus, clipping that along. Herrera will track it down. Into the middle for Zelarayana. The return, Herrera, is he being pulled? Celentano comes to collect. John Nelson was defending there, no call on the field.
Well, Zelarayana once again finding a nice pocket just in front of the Cincinnati back four. Look at him calling for the ball as he look over his shoulder. Then Herrera makes the run. The back line all over the place from Cincinnati, keeping him onside. Nobody's stepping out. And we'll see if Nelson gets a hold of his shirt here, because I thought he had, oh, there's a pretty clear tug of that shirt that stops his momentum getting to that ball.
Well, you hear what the fans think about it. A whistle there as Vasquez was challenging Williams on the other end of the field. Check complete. Jose Carlos Rivera, our video assistant referees, had a look and said it's not a clear and obvious error by the referee Marcos de Oliveira.
We can hear Caleb Porter. He's saying he's pulling his jersey. he's definitely pulling his jersey.
Because how do you say it's a clear and obvious error? Like you're trying to judge like how much he's tugging the jersey, I guess. That's a different kind of a look than we tend to have for video review to figure out. Room under some pressure gives it away. Good work by Morris, though, to come out of there with the ball. Now he's trying to spring him the other way. Long run, but Celentano is out off his line alertly.
That's great recognition from Celentano. We're going to go back to this one more time and have a look at it. The pass from Zelarayan, how good is that? So, I think that's a foul. I think it's a penalty. Pulls his shirt clearly. The first touch wasn't great from Herrera, but you could also say he was being impeded and then therefore off balance. Nelson knows he's beat. That's a foul.
Nagbe on the turn inside. Nagbe cuts it through. Cucho, a little toe poke. First save of the game by the rookie Roman Celentano. Out for the Cruz second corner.
Cucho Hernandez just so dynamic up front. You see him running in behind. This time now coming underneath. Great turn from Nagbe, just on a dime. Then the cutting run and the timing of the run is so good from Hernandez. That's what makes that pass and that play just so efficient. It's going to be another Crew corner. Zelarayan once again.
And swinger this time deep. Sent along by Murphy. Santos to go to a bump there from Vasquez, no foul. He just arrived a couple of weeks ago. He debuted last weekend. First player in Columbus Crew history to score in each of his first 2 games. Just the third in MLS history to do so as a substitute in both games. First since Charlie Davies in 2011. And really, had it not been for former Crew forward Ola Kamara's stoppage time equalizer Wednesday night, you'd be talking about Cucho winning them back-to-back games. The comeback in Chicago and what would have been a win in DC, what would have had them above Cincinnati in playoff position right now is Zelarayan. Look at that, working hard on Kubo, and Cruz wins a free kick.
And Caleb Porter told us yesterday about Zelarayan. He said the signing of Cucho has just instantly put a smile on his face. And this is a guy who hasn't scored a goal in 12 games. This is a guy that looks frustrated. Yeah, he's got the 8 assists, but he's their playmaker, Zelarayan. And when he was signed, he knows he's got a guy that he can provide balls to, he can play off of. And right now you can see that confidence just flowing through him. 2 Cincinnati players can't get the ball off him. Kubo and Cruz, and he's dancing around them, and now he's over the set piece once again with an in-swinging ball, and Columbus piling on some pressure here.
He's among the league leaders in assists, Zelarayan. Whips this one into a great area. There's Cucho again. Columbus take the lead.
This was the connection we were talking about. Zelarayan to Cucho once again. Columbus's last 3 goals, the exact same connection, and what a ball in. And it's Cucho at the near post, but it's such a clever header. Just to be able to redirect it towards that back post, he knows what he's doing, because if there's a runner that can get another touch on it, then they put it in. But instead, it just nestles into the side netting. And boy, his goals per minute ratio is absolutely off the charts in this league. 4 goals in his first start. It was 3 goals in 72 minutes. And now do the math for me, John, but I think that's 4 goals in 88 minutes? Ridiculous.
So goals in his first 3 games in MLS. The record, incidentally, is 5. Brian Fernandez, when he was signed by Portland in 2019, scored in his first 5 games. As you mentioned, Zelarayan has not scored since March, so he's just going to keep assisting. 9 now on the season. Aaron ball there, Kubo stepping in, Pedro Santos helping, Darlington Nagbe able to get out of there cleanly with it. Now Luis Diaz in for Cucho, turns inside of Cruz, outside of the football for Zelarayan on Raymond Gaddis, into the middle, and Hagler intercepts. How could Brenner get away? How does Cincinnati respond to this? Again, Pat Noonan telling us yesterday, trying to work on, he said that's not a weak mentality, but just this sense of, uh-oh, here we go again. Caleb Porter became the coach of this team, Columbus have been the best team in MLS when they score first. If you exclude the expansion teams, no one has dropped fewer points than the Crew when they score the first goal of the game. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they entered the league the same year. Only one win in their entire history came last year in Montreal when they concede the opening goal. So a lot of force and pressure against Cincinnati and for the Crew right now in the last 4 years of history. That skipped along past Brenner. Morris comes to pick it up. There's Diaz trying to get away from Nelson. Diaz now with Wobodo for company. Steps in there, gives away another free kick. Other side of the field from where Columbus scored just a few minutes ago.
And you think you might learn from conceding that goal that they did from, as you said, just the opposite side of the field. Diaz with some nice footwork and also an acceleration to push it away from Wobodo there. But that challenge just reeks of frustration right now. Cincinnati started the game pretty well, had the best chance of the game. Barrial saved off the line, then Vasquez comes close as well, and then it's been all Columbus. They've ramped up the tempo, they've put the pressure on. Good set piece delivery from Zelarayan. Cucho's movement peppering the goal, and they got the go-ahead goal. Can they find a second now from another set piece?
Celentano, the rookie out of Indiana. One save already made. Zelarayan stands over it. Cucho trying to avoid being seen as he loops around. It comes to him. He knocks it down. Wobodo got to be careful there with that challenge edge of the box. Zelarayan sends it back into the mixer. Vasquez missed it, but so did Etienne. Going to keep it in play. The return from Pedro Santos. Vasquez beaten on the outside. Etienne and Hagelin got him on ice skates, and it popped in the air by Murphy. Lets it take a bounce before he clears it. Success when they score first, the Crew. Wednesday night at DC, they led twice, and they were held to a draw.
One of the biggest challenges right now for FC Cincinnati, as you can see there, they're just struggling to keep the ball. 38% possession. It's been all Columbus Crew. When they play in the back 3 or 5 and they play with the 2 strikers, they are counter-attacking teams. They play pretty vertical, don't always rely on that, but they just can't release right now. Here come the Crew again.
Cucho again, good work by Morris and Zelarayan. How about Luis Diaz now? Trying to cut that cross in. Murphy got the block, spins out for another corner.
Well, that was a great opportunity there for the Crew, and that's what you want. If you're a speedy player like Luis Diaz, you're 1 against 1, take him on. But this first touch here, after a good pass from Cucho Hernandez, it's a little too far wide, so he loses his angle, and now his ability to either come inside or not. And you can see there that Murphy knew he wanted to cut back and come on his left foot, kept him wide, blocked a shot, and puts it out for a corner. But that was a great counter-attacking opportunity there for the Crew.
Zelarayan now with 5 assists in his last 3 games. Ball for him on this 3rd corner for the Crew. Mensah stabbed away there through the traffic by Cruz. Zelarayan then a little bit of a touch, enough from Barrial. Nelson under pressure there, plays it out. a little hip shivel. The acceleration to get away. Trying to find Zeller, he does. With that little chip pass, Luis Diaz, Stephen Moreira, driven cross, all the way through. Pedro Santos comes to get it. He'll whip that in. Celentano punching at it there. Cooper was trying to keep that in play. For Cucho. On Nelson. Around. Cucho dropping back in. Flips it along for Pedro Santos. Kubo dropping back there to intercept. They relieve some pressure. No. Williams steps up in front of Vasquez. Nagbe for Cucho. For Luis Diaz. Just a little bit of a slip there. Nelson blocks the cross. Mariel couldn't keep it cleanly. Moreira.
Take a look at how much this crew are squeezing Cincinnati in their own half. As you said earlier, John, it started about the 10th minute. They had all of their players outside of their keeper in Cincinnati's half. So much time and space in the middle of the field. Cincinnati can't get pressure on Nagbe and Morris. That then is allowing Zeller just to float, find spaces and gaps in the movement of Cucho. This has been really impressive from the crew. They're just penetrating right through the middle of Cincinnati, getting the ball wide and then deliveries into the box. So Cincinnati have to change some things up here. Pat Noonan's got to get Brenner defensively dialed in. That's not what he wants to do. You got to get your midfielders tighter, and then you have to stay really compact and narrow.
Brown out dueling Womodo for that one. Gave the pass away though, too close to Nelson. Barreal, how different is this game if Alvaro Barreal puts that away in the 3rd minute? Eloy Room kick save on the goal line as he's falling backwards. 13 minutes later, Cucho Hernandez, goal in a 3rd straight game, heading into Zeller free kick. Obodo trying to find Kubo there. Santos read it well. It's the first time in what feels like forever that Cincinnati was able to set up in the attacking half. They won it back here with Nelson. Ariel trying to go quick. Kubo was the target, but Room out to get it. Switch for Etienne. They keep that in play, bring it under control into the middle. And Celentano uncontested to control it. Cincinnati get their offense going. They're the top scoring first half team in MLS. Also now the team with the most goals allowed in the first half of games.
You can see in their possession, they're trying to get Nelson high and wide and replicate that back three feel. So now you've got Alan Cruz dropping a little bit deeper. They've now got more numbers in the attack. That's a good start.
Ariel looking for Vasquez, nods it down, fired just over by Brenner. Did Room get a touch to that one? He did not.
That's the best move of the match for FC Cincinnati, and it comes because they have some possession and they can create a numbers advantage, because now you have your fullbacks wide. It means that Kubo can come underneath. There's Barreal underneath as well, playing the pass, looking for Vasquez, combining with his strike partner, and Brenner is playing underneath him. So a great looking move there from Cincinnati. Just the execution wasn't quite there. Brenner's leaning back, trying to keep that underneath the crossbar, but gets over the top of it. And that'll be encouraging signs as finally they're able just to force Columbus back a little bit.
Columbus give it back pretty quickly. Pedro Santos trying to go long there for Luis Diaz. With him, able to hook it over from Nelson. Morel, Brenner picks it up. Morris on top of him. Down he goes. Free kick, Cincinnati. Alan Cruz, well, he was setting it to see if there was a look for a quick free kick.
That's good skill from Brenner. Just gets Morris to bite and drags the heels a little bit, feels a bit of contact and goes down.
This is where you miss Luciano Costa, and yet in saying that, the one free kick goal in Cincinnati's history is by the man setting the ball, Alvaro Barreal. It's Brenner as well on the other side. Barreal scored last year in Chicago. Hagen and the big boys from the back are upfield as well. Barreal, it's blocked by the wall. Might have been a look there for Vasquez. Etienne beats him two on the byline. Went straight back though by Murphy. In for Vasquez. Around Zelarayan. He'll let it fly. Popped in the air by Mensah. Pedro Santos awkwardly. Hagelin picks it up. Has that attempt to cross blocked.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
spins behind for a corner.
Santos was doing there. He's just kind of spinning around at it, and I believe it was Morera or it was Mensah maybe in the box who got that clearance. Looks like Morera took a shot. That might have been off the free kick attempt from Barreal. But some defending of the game for Columbus.
Cincinnati, not great scoring goals from set pieces, but they are among the league leaders. In fact, they are the league leaders in scoring goals with headers. And it's Barreal to send this in towards the hedge room. Backtracking there. He sort of out-jumped it up off his line. Punches it out for another. Barreal once again. In swinging ball again. Trying to catch room out there. He scores just to tip it over and out.
He's trying. The second one in a row, almost identical. He's trying for the Olympico, and both of those are going in, and Room just has to be aware, and he is. He's stepping off his line, but able to get back and react and push it over.
So does that stick Room to his line this time? Does it give a little more space for Barreal to send it in towards the targets? Here it comes for a third time, and at the near post, popped in the air. Robineau trying to keep it. Yuya Kubo mishit that. Out of room. Cucho's goal, giving Columbus the lead, putting them above the playoff line. It would be for the first time in 10 weeks the Crew finish an MLS weekend in playoff position. Charlotte blew a 2-goal lead to lose in Miami last night. New England led and lost in Philadelphia. Both conferences are absolutely wild right now and jam-packed as we approach the 20-game play mark for most teams.
That was a big part of what a ball that is, almost from Zelarayan, almost picking out Diaz.
He's going to get back to it here as Nelson can only stab it away. Morera on the outside. takes it away from Pedro Santos. Morris on a beeline sprint to try to slow him up. Yuya Kubo still with Morris for company. Brenner trying to get the other side for Barrial. It's going to be tight offside decision there. He cuts it on Mensah. How about the Rabona into the middle? Cruz's header is blocked by Williams in front of Rome. It's picked up by Brenner. Cruz trying to return. Williams gets there just in time. Now Etienne trying to send him the other way. Zelarayan has Cucho on the far side. Couldn't get it over Murphy's head. Nelson then gets a bump. Well, an advantage there, in fact.
Yeah, this game is opening up. And this is the one thing the Crew can't afford to do is Cincinnati playing this one quickly, back in play. But the Crew turn this ball over. Santos loses the ball and then quickly allowing Cincinnati to transition. You see, oh, a little Rabona there from Barrial to put that one across. Trying to pick out at the back post. I think it was Cruz, yeah, with the header that was cleared off the line by Williams. So a couple of good looks in transition for FC Cincinnati when they can win the ball back and create a numbers advantage.
And it's a Crew team as Derek Etienne Jr. is down, took a bit of a kick. Columbus, as much as they've been a different team offensively, now with 6 goals the last 3 games, they also all of a sudden have been a lot looser defensively. They've conceded 2 goals each of the last 2. Going in, they were averaging 1 goal per game given up. Etienne is helped to his feet there by Cruz. Brenner has also come over to the near side to get some water and some instruction from Pat Noonan. .72 degrees, so it's very humid. It's not hot. Gets it back into play. Vasquez gets her on the outside, too much so. Assistant referee Andrew Bigelow flagging that for a foul as Santos went down.
I think Pat Noonan will be happy with the response from his team after going down a goal, after being under pressure, not conceding a second, but then finding ways with possession to get back into the game and start to implement part of what they're trying to do in the offensive part of the field, getting fullbacks forward, getting runners underneath, flooding the middle of the field, getting Brenner on the ball, and ultimately service up to Vasquez. So they've had a couple of good looks, haven't been able to punch one in yet, but this has been a much better response for them by taking the ball away from Columbus. As some good defending there from Gaddis.
Gaddis, who came out of retirement to play this year for Cincinnati, who's played more than he expected because Alvis Powell's been banged up. Wins that duel on Derek Etienne Jr. Now Vasquez just into the space for Nelson to run onto. Nelson trying to skip away from Luis Diaz, gets that cross in. Mensah, an outstretched foot to keep it away from Brandon Vasquez. And then Hagelin chasing Zelarayan all the way in, fouls him. Flat tire, too. Caleb Porter told us yesterday he's starting to see the signs that he saw in 2020. He said the mentality of these guys, the winning edge. You get a guy like Cucho in, it has an effect on everyone. He said our defenders are getting frustrated. All the games we're having to grind out where we're not scoring goals, and they got to be sharp defensively. He really feels they have a second half of the season kick in them, just as they did in 2020 as they won MLS Cup. Rolled in here for Luis Diaz. Chased out of there by Murphy, though. One of the comments Caleb Porter made, he said, I think this is the best team we've had on the field since that MLS Cup win a year and a half ago. Into the middle for Zelarayan, able to keep it under some pressure. Zelarayan puts it wide. That take a touch on the way through. Yes, it did, out for a corner.
I couldn't quite get the angle that he would have wanted here to be able to just bend that in inside that near post. There's 2 defenders. First, Kubo gets a look on him, and then there's Murphy. So you can see clearly the deflection on that. But once again, well, this time it's goal reversal. It's Cucho picking out Zelarayan. Zelarayan is, I think, throughout this first half has been fantastic. Best player on the field for Columbus, pulling all the strings and providing time after time.
Fourth quarter of the game, driven on a rope. Pedro Santos. It sure looked pretty, just didn't hit the target.
I mean, talk about putting it on a plate. This is put on a plate with a golden plate with a golden knife and fork, and just go ahead and try and finish that. I mean, it's a driven ball. It's right over the top of the defender. You really just, it's difficult technique to hit a ball like this that's, I mean, that's on a rope. You just try to get right through it, and he does, Santos, but to put this on target, you're trying to get your laces around it, hit it off the outside of the boot and into that corner. Anywhere on net with that type of ball, it's more than likely a goal. But a great looking set piece, this time Columbus mixing it up.
Ray Gaddis still barking at referee Marcos de Oliveira. Thought he won the ball cleanly there. A free kick, and then that time it's another foul as Robideau steps in. He's already missed a game on a yellow card suspension, Obina Robideau. 6 yellow cards in his first 11. He was the big acquisition in April. Designated player, defensive midfielder. It's another set piece chance for Columbus. It's how they got their goal in the 16th minute. This is from a lot further out. Zelarayan standing over it. Center backs are up. 5 minutes to go in the half as the rain continues. Whipped along towards Mensah. Popped in the air by Vasquez. Jonathan Mensah brings it down. Pedro Santos back into the middle, sent sideways and then cleared. Diaz able to chase that down and keep it in play. Working on Murphy now. Luis Diaz to the byline, rolled into the middle. Gaddis facing his own goal, able to hook it away cleanly out for a throw.
Diaz is getting into some good spots down this right-hand side. That time Nelson had gotten drawn into the challenge. Then you've got Murphy.
Show there, missing on a header, a little near post flick on the ball from Zelarayan.
Cincinnati trying to play out of the back, and Zelarayan putting another, just a peach in, looking for Cucho, but that time Hagelin was in a good spot. Had him a couple of yards past that near post, had a body on him, had contact on him. It's hard to do to get a body or any type of contact, but it's going to throw off his runs, and you have to do that because he's so dynamic and so precise in the way in which he's running inside the box.
Kubo from Gaddis, Snagby in there to take it away. And he draws the foul. Audi's teaming up with Major League Soccer to develop the next generation of homegrown champions. For every goal scored during the regular season, Audi will contribute $500 to the Goals Drive Progress Fund, supporting housing, education, and transportation across youth academies league-wide. Some pressure here. Santos able to do just enough. With a 60% possession edge. They have the lead. The best individual chance of the game was Barrial forcing a terrific save out of room in the 3rd minute. Cucho with a goal in his 3rd consecutive game, all the last 8 days since making his debut. We'll play a little 2-man game with Nagby before opening it up outside of the foot for Aiden Morris. And now Zelarayan. Zelarayan around Robideau, pulls him back. Free kick on the way. Question is whether this will elicit a yellow card, because Robideau was getting a warning from Marcos de Oliveira on his last foul. So both sets of players are arguing the point. warning.
He's had a tough time getting stuck in this game. Wobodo, a couple times just come charging in and is getting beat so easily. With guys like Zelarayan and Cucho, Diaz as well, with the space and their ability just to quickly shift the ball one way or another. When you're coming charging at them full speed like that, it makes it easier for them. It's just a quick touch around you, then boom. That's what Zelarayan did. He felt the contact, went down, and now you've got a wonderful set-piece opportunity once again for him just to pick it out. You've seen all kinds of different service, from driven balls back post, whipped balls in at the near post, a bit of trickery. They tried to pick out Cucho once at the top of the box, and let's see what he does this time.
Celentano already 2 saves in this game. Final minute plus stoppage time of the first half. Zelarayan driven in, popped in the air by Wobodo. It's going to allow Celentano to come to collect. For Brenner. Will find the open space, open along for Ray Gaddis. Etienne trying to close him down, rolled in for Yuya Kubo. Kubo able to turn on Pedro Santos. Kubo for the bottom line, cuts it in behind Vasquez. Morris clears only as far as Gaddis, who hands it off for Cruz. Numbers up for Cincinnati. That cross is deep. Herrera able to steer it away from Nelson. Diaz, can he collect? Able to keep it in. What do you make of this one, Stu?
Find out at halftime.
No added time. Cucho Hernandez, 3 games in Columbus Yellow, 3 games with a goal, 4 of them in total, and that's the difference at the break. And the 9th MLS edition of Hell is Real. Columbus coach Caleb Porter now joining us in the headset. Caleb, what do you think at the half?
Yeah, I think great energy to start the game. I thought our speed of play, first 25, 30 minutes was excellent. When we circulated the ball around the edges and pulled them apart, we were able to get around through wing progressions or 1v1s with our wingers or outside backs, 2v1s. And then as we switched play, we also found some central gaps and combinations, so we need to continue that. The last 15 minutes, I thought our play slowed and we started dribbling too much.
Caleb, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We'll go to your opposite number, Pat Noonan on the other side. Pat, give us your thoughts on the half.
Yeah, I thought defensively we were dropped off too deep. We didn't do a good enough job of getting pressure to the ball. I think we got to do a better job with Alvaro and Yuya out wide, pushing higher up the field, and in the middle with Allen and Obi. They were too deep. We were protecting our back line too much, and it allowed them too much time and space to put us under pressure.
Pat, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And coming up after the break, we'll get the thoughts of Stu, Kobe, and Alexi. 45 minutes down, 45 to go, and Hell is Real. Columbus 1, Cincinnati 0.
And if you don't, there are other options.
Good eye, good eye.
Eyes are good for lots of things, like reading.
Be the best, Caleb.
Statistically impossible, Caleb.
Quickly, you'll get him next time.
Or you won't. Probably won't. And it won't impact your future whatsoever.
Talk to us about college planning today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual.
So we need something super distinct.
Dad's work. Meet daughter's playtime.
Wait till you hear this.
Thankfully, Metaportal helps reduce background noise.
Zero lace model.
Adjusts to low light.
Though it seems far out.
And pans and zooms to keep you in frame.
Take a look at this.
So the whole team stays on track.
Okay, let's get some feedback. Great.
Metaportal, the smart video calling device that makes work from home work for you.
Wow, look at this selection. Tile, wood, stone, laminate, vinyl. And this one is perfect.
At Floor & Decor, our everyday low pricing on high-quality products and on-trend styles means you can really bring your room to life. Discover Floor & Decor today.
Pizza Hut's got 2 mediums for just $6.99 each. That's less than $1 a slice.
Got 2 more slices.
So much pizza.
My pizza.
What?
Carry out 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. No one out Pizza Hut.
Hitting the road? Not all 5G networks are created equal. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than Verizon. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Introducing Icy Hot Pro. Ice works fast to freeze your pain and your doubt. Heat makes it last, so you'll never sit this one out. New Icy Hot Pro with 2 max strength pain relievers.
Saturday, it's baseball night in America on Fox. Baseball's oldest rivalry is ready for its next chapter as the Giants battle the Dodgers. Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep, I was stressed about it, and there were few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Introducing the all-new one-wheel GT and Pint X. GT, built with more power to crush new terrain. Pint X, twice the range to take on the city. 2 new boards to make everywhere epic. Get riding today at onewheel.com.
I'm Greg.
I'm Gabby, and we're the founders of Magic Spoon.
We grew up loving cereal, but realized we were eating empty carbs and sugar.
So we invented our own, with more protein, less carbs, and none of the junk. Try the magic for yourself at magicspoon.com.
Halftime is sponsored by Audi. Stu Holden, Kobe Jones, Alexi Lawless alongside you. 4 goals for Cucho Hernandez in just over 100 minutes. That's pretty good, right?
Not too shabby.
The Columbus Crew benefiting from his play as they have a 1-0 lead over Cincinnati at the half. As we take a look now at our highlights, sponsored by Ally. And it got started for Cincinnati, actually, in this game. It was Vasquez down the right-hand side putting a wonderful ball across, Kobe.
Yeah, we see those runs that he likes to do, the inside-out runs, but what a fantastic save from Room. Was that in?
No, it was not in. It should have been in.
All right, and listen, for everybody that complains about diving in soccer, this is the problem here, okay? You can't be a little pregnant. That is a pull, and that denies the player the ability to get to the ball. It should be a penalty. And with VAR should look and say, it's clear and obvious.
Apparently did not reach that threshold, and I agree with you as Nagbe then took control of this game in the middle of the field between him, Zelarayan, and Cucho. They just had free run.
Yeah, and I love this play by Cucho. It just tells you that's a true striker there. Little Romario toe poke.
All right.
Set piece.
We've seen it before. Set piece in, and there he is, the man of the hour. Or the man of the, I don't know how many minutes, 118 minutes or something like that. Now he's played, he scored 4 goals. Cucho, again, on the board.
What do you make of this first half? I mean, it had set up that it was going to be a Columbus-heavy game, and it felt that it was that way, although Cincinnati had a couple chances, too.
Yeah, it's true. It's a few chances for Cincinnati, but for me, it's that combination of Zelarayan and Cucho, those two working together. It's like any team that we're starting to see in this league. If you have 2 quality players that can combine and connect, all of a sudden they can take over the game. And you add in a third that can give you a little something extra, then you're a contender. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I know Cincinnati's losing, but the way that they reacted to being down and the chances that they did create, they need to go into that locker room with an air of confidence, because there is something for the taking here. Although this Columbus team, this is a fun Columbus team to watch right now with the talent that they have, and obviously the addition of Cucho.
It still feels though Columbus need that second one to finish that game off, because Cincinnati hanging around could be trouble. Well, this MLS season continuing to produce some incredible goals. We'll show you the latest AT&T Goal of the Week winner next, as well as highlights from around the league.
For me, one of the best things about life is that we keep moving forward. We discover exciting new technologies, redefine who we are and how we want to lead our lives. Basically, we choose what we want our future to look like.
So what's yours going to be?
She has curly hair like mine. We have the same glasses. She's smart like me. We're gonna go to the moon. She's my new best friend. Best friends for all kids.
I'm the latest hashtag challenge, and everyone on social media is trying me. I'm trending so hard that hashtag common sense can't keep up. This is gonna get tens and tens of views. But if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, you could be left to pay for this yourself.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
Tide Pods Ultra Oxy one-ups the cleaning power of liquid.
Can it one-up whatever they're doing?
For sure.
Seriously?
One-up the power of liquid, one-up the toughest stains. Any further questions? One-up the power of liquid with Tide Pods Ultra Oxy.
Somewhere out west, the Lone River flows, carving its way through time. If you were to find it, you would taste pure agave nectar and lime. Lone River Ranch Water.
Your team is on a streak. A losing one.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. An Indeed resume gets right to work for you, so you can find that better fit fast.
Can you think of a time things didn't go as you planned?
How much time do we have?
Thor has his weapons. I have my Old Spice. Never let the crowd see you sweat. I am worthy. Hello, Gary.
Old Spice. Marvel Studios Thor, Love and Thunder, only in theaters.
Think Dad's searching doggy diet plans for Josie? No, he's switching his choice cashback category to home improvement, so he earns more on a new doggy door, extra large.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
Morning, noon, night. Indulgent, delicious, irresistible. Fancy Feast makes delighting your cat delightfully easy. Every recipe, every last detail. Another fancy way to show your love. Fancy Feast. Give your cat the world with globally inspired medleys.
All season long, we'll be handing out the AT&T Goal of the Week honors. The latest winner, beauty from Diego Fagundes of Austin FC. He connected on this sensational free kick and a comeback win over the Houston Dynamo. Visit MLSsoccer.com/GOTW to vote for your favorite AT&T Goal of the Week. Cucho Hernandez can't stop scoring for Columbus. The second 45 minutes from Lower.com Field. That's coming up next.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.
So, you've got an idea for a business, the store of your dreams. There's just one thing to figure out: everything. That's why Shopify's all-in-one commerce platform makes it easy to sell online, in person, and everywhere else. Sell on social media, source products with an app to get that first sale feeling. It's the only solution that gives you everything you need to sell everywhere you want. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life, power it up with Shopify.
Our journey at Continental has taken us down many roads. And when we first started, they weren't even paved. For more than 150 years, we've worked hard to earn your trust. From the trail to the racetrack and beyond. The Continental mark in all its forms stands for confidence. Confidence you trust. Continental Tire.
Los Thunderdogs nos gustan hot. Oh, how I love to sing for food. Oh, I love bread. Tenemos sed. Oh, how I love to order food. Pasta, pollo, fries, or pizza. Carne asada and six-packs too.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado, didn't have the fighting spirit to draw out his passion, he never would have perfected the street look that made him a street legend. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
I've been a lot of places, but there's something about when I come home.
Wide open, I noticed, I chosen.
Yeah.
Get the Jack Harlow meal, now at AFC.
Democracy 2022. Empower yourself with the knowledge, the information, and the insight. Your freedom, your vote.
Men over 50, here's important information. You don't have to put up with the effects of an aging prostate any longer. Scientists at Nugenix have developed full-potency prostate. Why trust it to work? First, full-potency prostate contains an exclusive combination of 4 clinically validated key ingredients found in no other product worldwide. Second, each of those key ingredients is at the full potency levels validated in the clinical studies. Third, it's from the man-boosting experts at Nugenix. They're so confident it works, they're offering 1 million complimentary samples. Just text the number below. Full potency prostate is guaranteed to reduce nighttime bathroom trips and urgency, promote better bladder emptying, even improve male vitality. Get your complimentary sample now. Text RACE to 369-369. Text now and we'll include a box of Nugenix Cellular Energy for time-release energy without the jitters, absolutely free. That's RACE to 369-369.
Tuesday, the City of Stars is going supernova. All the heavy hitters will be in LA. So get ready, because the All-Star Game is back in Tinseltown. And we're rolling out the red, white, and blue carpet. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
A week from tonight, we'll be at Dignity Health Sports Park. Chicharito expected to be there as well. He's missed 2 games this week in health and safety protocols, 3 straight losses for the Galaxy. But Joseph Martinez in Atlanta showed some guts in their draw today. That'll be 9:30 Eastern next Sunday here on FS1. Cucho Hernandez with the goal has made some history. 8th player in MLS history, in fact, with a goal in his first 3 appearances. The MLS record is 5. The second half is underway. Consider this as well. Columbus, only 1 goal in their first 18 games this year from a header. Cucho Hernandez has scored with his head each of the last 2 games tonight and then Wednesday night against DC United. He has changed their team. He's changed the mojo. Stu, is it enough, though, to lift the Crew to a rivalry win, or do we see a Cincinnati comeback on the way?
I do maintain the feeling that Columbus Crew need to find that second goal. Cincinnati capable of scoring, have a lot of talent, informed talent on the field, and Brenner and Brandon Vasquez. I agree with Pat Noonan's assessment, and we talked about it throughout the first half of them not getting enough pressure on the midfield of Columbus. When they did, they caused them problems, and they won the ball back and then had some possession of their own to create those opportunities. Interested to see, hey, John, how long can Cucho go in this game? Caleb Porter wasn't sure about his fitness, only substitute appearances before that. But it's really just continuing to get Zelarayan getting down the wings, and there's Zelarayan involved, and there's Hagelin picking up a yellow for fouling.
Nick Hagelin, the Cincinnati kid, getting the first yellow card of the game tonight.
Just gets too tight, not for the first time tonight, Hagelin, and he gets spun. It was the same thing I was talking about with Wobodo. When you commit at such a ferocious pace and the attacking player has you off balance, they can get around you, spin you, get in behind. He has to make the foul there because he knows he's beaten. Zelarayan would have been running at the back line with Cucho to his right.
Hagelin playing in his 79th game for FC Cincinnati, more than any player since Cincinnati became an MLS team in 2019. And they had those few years in USL as well. That was the first meeting of this rivalry in 2017. Cincinnati, a USL team, part of a Cinderella run to the semifinal of the U.S. Open Cup, beating a Columbus team then coached by Greg Berhalter. Zelarayan trying to steer that along for Pedro Santos. Wobodo was chasing him down. Zelarayan with Cruz for company now.
What I'm interested to see, John, is if this is a great line-breaking pass there, opens up the field completely.
And Murphy backing off the whole way on Nagbe, hands it off for Cucho. He'll let it fly. It's up in the 10th row.
I mean, why not? If you're in the form that he is right now, and if you have a look at goal to take that strike, but for the first time in this half at least, and even towards the end of the second half, they were struggling to do that, but they did break the pressure. Found Nagbe in a nice spot, in behind the midfield, breaking now with the back line, getting Cucho, and he's trying to hit that knuckleball to test Celentano, and it's up over the crossbar.
And so this time the jump there, Williams had to clean it up for Morera. By Yuya Kubo to hold that up on Jonathan Mensah, keep it away from Aiden Morris, opens it up now. This is Alvaro Barrial in for Brenner, poked away by Morera. And then a collision between Nagbe and Kubo, advantage played as Columbus comes the other way. Etienne with the ball, Cucho to his left, Luis Diaz to his right. Here's Cucho, rolled in front, and it's all the way through.
What I'm curious to see here, does Diaz stop his run thinking that Cucho is going to strike this? Because he scored from a similar part of the field, and Cincinnati arguing that the ball should have stopped and it should have been fouled. No, the referee played advantage perfectly, allowing this play to develop. There's the ball across, and no, I don't think he's ever going to get there, even with the speed that Diaz has, just skipping too far away from him. Great idea, but if it's any closer, I think Celentano gets to it. As Cucho goes with the left foot, just missing Diaz for what would have been a perfect counter-attacking goal for the Crew in that second goal.
It would have been a double review because Diaz, that was a narrow offside, and Cincinnati's argument was that that should have been a foul the other way. That Kubo was fouled by Nagbe. That would have been an interesting one had it gone in. Weaving his way through, able to get through 4 Cincinnati players. Steven Morera for Derek Etienne Jr. drags him a bit wide. Gaddis able to recover his position. How about Morera? Zelarayan pushed away by Celentano. That's his second save of the game, and it spins behind for the Crew's 5th corner.
And what you're seeing now is the inability for Cincinnati to win the ball back. When you go high press like that, you leave yourself exposed in some part of the field. And what Columbus have been able to do is just beat guys off the dribble and open the field up. First it was Nagbe, this time it's Morera. Now they're on the counterattack. Now they're 4v4, and they work it to get a great shot on goal. It ends up being right at Celentano from Zelarayan as he was trying to pick out that corner. And as you said, still looking for that first goal in 13 games.
Out swinging corner from Zelarayan. Murphy sends it as far as Nagbe. Pedro Santos trying to reset. That's way too far. Though it does pin Cincinnati in the corner. It's a throw and not a goal kick, so the Crew will push high up here. Wins the header. Hagelin just steers it square sideways out for a Columbus throw. Traffic lifts it forward towards Diaz. Wilson comes over the back. The ball, no foul. Cucho picks it up all the way out wide. Wobodo on his back. Cucho, great work to get it back inside for Luis Diaz. Splits the defenders. A little bit of contact, edge of the area.
Had to get that one right, Wobodo. And I thought he was going to try and make the contact on the initial one. Great work from Cucho Hernandez. Takes 3 players out of the play. Then Luis Diaz, I thought there he's going to try and make the contact, and he has to get that absolutely right or it's a penalty, and he does. Gets the right leg outstretched, gets in front of Luis Diaz and pokes it behind for another Crew corner kick.
Once again, Zelarayan. Swinger flipped along. That was Barrial back to defend. Pedro Santos trying to reset for Diaz. Gaddis on him. That's in. Pedro Santos hooks that behind the options. Wobodo brings it down off his thigh. Renner trying to release it now. Vasquez all by his lonesome. 2 subs in the wings for Cincinnati as Mensah cleans it up for room. This is where for Cincinnati becomes tough. No Dominic Bacci out injured. No Sergio Santos out injured.
Look gassed a little bit right now, don't they? You can see the body language. It takes it out of you when you try to go to more of a higher pressure type of game. You're putting a lot in that to win the ball back, and then when they can finally win it back, it's tough to release and go the other way.
Zellerau wins it back. Cincinnati thought they had that. Diaz sends it along. Popped in the air by Cruz. Kubo mistimed the bounce of the ball. Pedro Santos. Cucho once more, scored from here against DC Wednesday night. Hooks it along instead for Morera. Cucho again trying to come get it. Zellerau, great work around Cruz. Lucas Zellerau driving it through, trying to weave around Hagler's got to be careful. And it ends up all the way out.
Cucho drags a couple of defenders with him as Cincinnati are going to make those subs now. Jeff Cameron, one of them.
So John Nelson, the left back, is off. Luya Kubo as well will make way. You get the 37-year-old Jeff Cameron on, along with the 18-year-old Archimedes Ordonez. Homegrown player who was a best 11 at the CONCACAF Under-20 Championships with Guatemala, helping them to qualify for their second ever U20 World Cup. Immediately it's offside on Ordonez. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by Audi. For every goal, Audi will invest $500 into the Goals Drive Progress Fund to support MLS Youth Academies. Visit MLSsoccer.com/Audi to learn more. Ordonez, who was a part of the Columbus Crew Academy starting as a 13-year-old until Cincinnati, his hometown, had an academy of their own. He's on making his 11th appearance of the season. As Morris steers that for Nagbe. Takes a bit of a kick there right at the end as he gets it away. Long ball across. Luis Diaz brings it down. Barrial, just a bit of a bump. Diaz cutting around, blocked by Murphy. Nagbe holds it in. Zellerau flicks it along. Morera now popped in the air by Murphy. Here's Diaz now on the deck. Etienne weaving his way through. A little bit of a skill check there on the flick. Diaz skips away from Barrial. It's Aiden Morris now, blocked by Cameron. That shot was nowhere on target. The follow-up is similarly nowhere on target. Flashing all the way through from Pedro Santos.
Yeah, anybody have a shot. As you said, I think the one from Morris was going about 10 yards wide, and then it popped out to Pedro Santos, who had a whack as well. This one with the left foot, that was going out for a throw, and then Santos says, I'll one-up you. That's out for a throw, too.
The 2 substitutions for Cincinnati. How can that start to change things potentially in their favor? Etienne has it once again. Working on Hagelin. Intercepted. Ordonez picks it up, trying to get on the run.
Well, what it's done from them,
do it.
From a tactical perspective, is it's more of that 3-4-2-1 type look for them. So you've got the 3 center backs now. Jeff Cameron's gone between Hagelin and Murphy, and you're going to have Ordonez and Brenner underneath Vasquez. You get a pretty good look at it right now with Cruz and Wobodo in there. Gaddis is pushed forward to a right wing back. So more of a traditional look for them. And what you've seen from them over the course of this season. We'll see if that has any type of effect now on their ability to press the ball, but then also counterattacking and getting more numbers into the attack.
Long switch now to Luis Diaz, who brings it down into the middle. That's Morera, the right back, who's come forward. Murphy gets the block in. It's a 7th Columbus corner.
I just feel for the crew over the past 5-10 minutes. It's decision making. They're getting into great spots. This layoff here that comes from Diaz, he gets the ball wide, 1-against-1. It's a nice weight on the ball to find Morera. It's just that last bit of execution, picking out a yellow shirt in the box, getting a clean shot on target. You have to also give credit to Cincinnati, the blocking those plays as well and getting numbers in front of the right spots. But the build-up play from Columbus has been very good.
Both coaches talked in different ways about the ability for their teams to grind out results in this part of the season. This feels like one of those games with a little more than a half an hour to go. Celeron takes once again the out-swinging ball, flicked along by one of any number of Cincinnati players. Pedro Santos picks it up, trying to get away from Cameron. Prevents the cross, and Gaddis just pokes it out for a throw. Just one save. It was in the 3rd minute, falling backwards, kicked it away on his goal line from Barrial. Last chance of the game for Cincinnati. 16th minute goal then from Columbus, from Cucho. Here's Vasquez, wide open, Ordonez in the middle, it was behind him. Second chance, he couldn't get full contact, it's cleared away. Held in, Gaddis, long run to get there. Contact with Santos, waved away. It's out for a goal kick.
It's a big mistake from Jonathan Mensah in the lead up to this play, stepping into the midfield. And right now he's not even aware of where his runner is, and it's Vasquez behind him. Vasquez recognizes that, runs into the channel. Williams can't get across, and there's Ordonez getting into the attack with the first touch, not good. It's behind him, and then he can't rotate, and the decision to try and shoot instead of picking out Brenner here. He can just lay it off for him to get it under control. He can't, and then the chance is gone for Cincinnati. But it was a great look, once again a great run from Vasquez, and Columbus all over the place defensively in that moment.
Ray Gaddis, who was down, back up to his feet now. 30 minutes to go. Sold out crowd of 20,000 plus. Lower.com field in Columbus. 9th meeting between these teams, separated by just over 100 miles on I-71 in Ohio. This result taking Columbus above Cincinnati in the standings into a playoff spot for the first time in more than 2 months. They'll be outdueled for that ball by Alan Cruz. Cruz able to reverse it. Barrial, long run to get there. Morera steps in. That's a Columbus throw. Switching a dangerous one. Gaddis wins the header. It's Ordonez who picks it up on Williams, and again just couldn't get a ton behind the shot. Room over to make his second save, and you see Mensah, the captain, guys, calm down, get some control.
But again, this is decision making. First of all, it's a terrible turnover from Columbus, just an aimless ball across the field. But here from Ordonez, again, I think just too eager to try and do something on the field. He's in a good spot. He's going away from goal. Here they come again.
Another giveaway, almost found Vasquez there. Mensah intercepted. Barrial slides through, wins it back. Barrial trying to skip away from Morera. Now needs some help. It's Ordonez who came out of there with the ball, and then Morera gives away an attacking set-piece chance for the league leaders in headed goals scored, FC Cincinnati.
And I think this stretch of play here from Cincinnati, after them making the changes, they've got fresh legs on the field, that the change of formation, that they're pushing the tempo. I wouldn't be surprised to see Caleb Porter think that those last 2 chances were enough now for him to make a change and try to shift the momentum back in their favor if they can get away from this set piece without conceding.
Oriel to take with Acosta out suspended. Deep. Brenner into the traffic, into the outside netting.
It's a long set piece ball. It's overhit a bit, but it's Brenner just hanging out at the back post, sees the flight of the ball and just backs up a couple of steps, takes the strike on goal, but it into the side netting, but just another warning shot, and here comes Cincinnati stepping up again with their pressure to try and win the ball back, but Darlington Nagbe just effortlessly gliding through it.
Long switch now for Luis Diaz. Cucho making the early run. Here comes the cross. Celentano up to get it. It's the Cincinnati team that finished dead last in the league. Each of the last 3 years has set new records for goals allowed in a season. Has gone from games like this to getting blown out as Jeff Cameron misplays that for Murphy. You and Alexi and Kobe have all talked about it. There's just a different kind of mentality for Cincinnati that they've shown in response to the early goal allowed, but do they have the quality without Luciano Costa to do something about it and get a result? Cucho's night is done. 8th player in league history to score in each of his first 3 games in the league, and a great ovation for him.
Well, this guy's going to score a lot of goals in this league. Already 4 in 3 games. First start was just a menace throughout the game. His movement off the ball, his combination play, his hold-up play, and then in and around the box where it matters, putting the ball in the back of the net, and that is why he's the club record signing. That is why they brought him to this club, and he's making an impact, and it's definitely a warning shot to teams in the Eastern Conference looking at the Crew with a guy like that up front, and just fundamentally how he has changed the team, and another good outing for Cucho Hernandez.
Kind of like Lucas Zelarayan did 2 years ago, right? You spend that kind of money in MLS. If you pick the right guy, you get rewarded. That bounces off Barrera to Brandon Vasquez now. Moves it along to the far side for Brenner. Brenner waits, sends it in, blocked by Morris, picked up by Gaddis. Here's Brenner once again. Alan Cruz, a lot of yellow shirts in there. Rolled along for Barreal. With Zelarayan backtracking to help out defensively, intercepts the pass, and then gets tripped up, and a foul will end the threat. So this is what it would mean. Columbus would jump above Cincinnati into playoff positioning. And you were starting to talk about this in the first half, Stu. Caleb Porter made a big point. They've just come out of a stretch of 7 out of 10 games on the road. This is the beginning of 7 out of 10 at home. He really feels this is the beginning of a major run up the standings. Again, we got 25 minutes here, big picture. Would you agree with that sentiment based on what you see?
Yeah, I think that the Crew are a very balanced and complete team with the addition of Cucho Hernandez. And it's not realistic to expect that he's going to keep up this type of scoring rate.
Diaz now for his replacement, the substitute, Hurtado, early cross, Celentano with the hands, Zelarayan beaten to it, Wobodo sliding in, one of 3 Cincinnati players selling out to prevent the second goal. Morris holds it in, back across for Diaz now, Zelarayan slow to his feet, here comes Morera, his cross into the middle, knocked down. That would have been an interesting offside decision whether Zelarayan got back. It was Morris making the run and Celentano with it.
Nice move from the Crew once again. Hurtado this time dropping underneath, and at the end of this play, it is Wobodo who just throws his body on the line, gets in there to beat Zelarayan, and boy, that is a cruncher. And Zelarayan, he's not backing off because he wants that first goal in 13 games, and then the Crew came again down this right-hand side. They've been causing problems all game long for Cincinnati. Barreal now has no help when he's backing off, and they can create those overloads, just putting ball after ball into the box, and Cincinnati still hanging on, just only down a goal and still within touching distance of a point in this game.
Flipped over the top for Etienne to chase, knocked away by Gaddis. Nunez for Wobodo, rides the challenge of Morris. Sends it back the other way. Wobodo might have prevented a goal a moment ago. Can he help create one now? Barreal sweeps it along. Brenner able to bring it down out of the sky. Morris defending him. Trying to cut him back. And good work there by Aiden Morris, the 20-year-old, to hold his ground.
Zelarayan, you thinking this one's in the back of the net once it pops out. And look at Wobodeau's position. I mean, he's a good 10 yards away from Zelarayan. He's just trying to hammer that home. And clearly, Wobodeau gets there first. Boy, it's a strong one, but also Zelarayan, you're not backing off of that one. You want to go in for that. And you're laying your body out, both players there. But that's a goal-saving challenge from Wobodeau.
Elvis Powell was up. He's making his return. Missed the last 2 games with a leg injury. We saw Gaddis a little while ago down and banged up. Lars Medunjanin also preparing to come on. Veteran chance creator for Cincinnati as they try to chase this one. Cruz is fouled. So now 2 more substitutions on the way. Cruz's night is done. Medunjanin, the 37-year-old, will replace him. And a straight swap at that right, what's now, I guess, a right wing-back position. Powell for Gaddis. Played 5 of his MLS seasons under Caleb Porter in Portland. Plays against him now. Cameron, whoever that was meant for, it bounces out off Pedro Santos. So, and then Powell runs to the back of Pedro Santos to the end of it. Third straight sellout crowd. 20,000 plus with 20 minutes to go. Medunjanin across for Barreal. Barreal hooks that in, too close to room. One of the games from earlier, Orlando was fun in the end. Both teams hitting the post. 50th career MLS goal for Tati Castellanos. Was he saying his goodbyes afterwards? That's kind of how it looked. New York City wins the Hudson River Derby. Nashville and LAFC have traded early goals. Chiellini starts for LAFC. Bale available on the bench. Later on, RSL and Sporting Kansas City. San Jose, we saw them getting new life Wednesday night with the California Classico win. They'll play Houston. Portland, Vancouver in a big game, especially with Seattle's loss. That 7th and final Western Conference playoff spot is wide open. Who can take advantage between those two tonight as Barreal foul once again. And the pace does slow down. You get fewer midweek games next couple of weeks after a very busy stretch around the July 4th holiday and all the games we had Wednesday. Wobodeau. He was way through. Medunjanin, they backed off him. He hands it wide. Powell, first time cross, miss hit all the way through. Rain has increased. Rising up to win that header. Medunjanin flicks it along. Can they get a chance, a real chance for Brandon Vasquez in this game? 10 goals coming in, single season record for Columbus, career high for him. Medunjanin hooked that cross in, Room had to leave it alone. Long run for Elvis Powell, able to keep it in play. Powell is able to keep it, find the angle for Wobodeau. In for Brenner, out for Medunjanin. Lars Medunjanin on the deck. In the traffic, it's Ordonez blocked. Zelarayan first to get it. Can he play the outlet ball? Murphy mistimed it. Jeff Cameron almost had spun around him there. Able to get enough on it back to Celentano. And then Cameron miscontrols it out. Hurtado quickly back in. Diaz getting to his feet. Onside on a throw in from a narrow angle. But Etienne wanted Diaz to play that across. He took it himself, and it's into the outside netting.
Oh, what a sequence. Diaz almost got in behind Jeff Cameron, and then let's see if... I think it would have been tough to pick out Etienne at the top, but just a half-hearted effort from Diaz in the end. Doesn't have a great angle, but there's a couple options. You either try and square it, or you just smash it. And you smash it at Celentano towards the far post, or you try and tuck it underneath, but ends up just getting it completely wrong and passes it into the side netting after they'd caught Cincinnati sleeping on the quick throw.
Williams, big header win there. Changing the wings for Columbus as Moreira gets away from a challenge. Zelarayan did as well. Moreira a little slow to get up. Luis Diaz still banged up from that last play. Pedro Santos, long switch for Zelarayan, skips on the increasingly wet grass, and Zelarayan can't keep it in play. Luis Diaz will make way for the utility man for the crew this year. James Igbekeme, 27-year-old from Nigeria, is on loan from Real Zaragoza in Spain. Second change for Columbus. Cincinnati have made 4 substitutions. The rain is increasing. 16 minutes to go. Columbus, as it stands, leaping above Cincinnati into playoff position. Cincinnati goal changes there. Igbekeme just on the field, on the ball, on the run, hands it off for Zelarayan. His cross off the back of Murphy. It's the 8th corner of the game for the crew upcoming. To their feet in Cincinnati, or Columbus, I should say. Zelarayan to take, and now Marcos de Oliveira. Just managing the pushing and shoving there, Hurtado and Powell. Still going at it. Zelarayan, the outswinging ball. As far as Igbekeme. Gets it back from Zelarayan. Igbekeme rolls it in. Adam Morris now. Back out for Zelarayan. He'll hook across in. Hurtado, second chance on Hagelin. Did Hagelin get a touch? That's what they're arguing. That's a tough angle for a referee to see. Well, he's held the taking of the goal kick, Marcos de Oliveira. And is he getting word from his assistant referee that there was a touch, or is there a concern about a video review potentially here? Uh-oh.
Well, that would be a pretty harsh one, I'd have to say.
Remember, they didn't get the one in the first half on the shirt tug. And if they change the call now to a corner, that's what appears to have happened. It's an interesting point from Noonan, because you shouldn't be able to change the call to a corner because you've seen the video review. That needs to be an on-the-field call from the officials.
I just don't think that Hagelin has... The arm, to me, is not stretched so far away from his body that it's unnatural. It's such a close proximity to Hurtado that, yeah, I think it hits his left hand, but I don't think that's a penalty.
But the interesting question is...
they changed it to a corner,
and where that information came from, in what order, and whether it ends up mattering or not. So it's the 9th corner now. Zelarayan to take once again. Swinging ball, Just too tall for Williams, and he's down. Nagbe resets it wide. Etienne's Morris, rather, who's down and slow to get up, as Etienne had his cross blocked. The Crew forced to retreat. Shown a yellow card.
Yeah, Robideau's been much better in the second half for Cincinnati, and I would say that's down to Pat Noonan taking the handbrake off a little bit and allowing him to go and use his range and press in the right spots of the field, and his timing has been good. He reads that play well, intercepts it, then still has the legs to open up a bit and just get that slight touch past Morera, and that's a tactical foul. It's a yellow card, and it'll be a set piece now for Cincinnati. It looks like Medunjanin's going to take it. This is a long way out, but he's going to try and bend it just to tease room into coming for it. We'll see if he comes to get it or if Medunjanin can find that right balance and pick out a Cincinnati shirt.
17-year professional Harris Medunjanin, including at Philadelphia, where Pat Noonan was on staff. Now his head coach in Cincinnati. Heavy breath as he whips that one in. As Mensah to send it out. Trying to reset. Brought down well by Barreal. Doing it and calling off Murphy to pick this one up. Cincinnati tied for the fewest goals scored in the final 15 minutes of games this season. Just 3 of them all year. Do they have one in them now? A little bit of a bump there for Ordonez on Mensah. Play on as it comes through to room. Marcos de Oliveira deciding to whistle it dead for the foul after all. To his feet. Easy to forget, it was a couple years ago. It was a pretty empty, it was a pretty old, decrepit stadium. The Crew were saved, they became champions. They built the 25th officially soccer-specific stadium, the second in town, and it's full once again with 10 minutes to go in their interstate rivalry as Murphy steers that backwards to Celentano. What are you looking for here, final 10 minutes?
For Cincinnati, it's about trying to just really, as we talked about all game long for Pat Noonan, if they get a goal here and they can get a point here, they've grinded that one out, considering the players that they're missing. No Luciano Acosta, change in formation, going down the depth chart a little bit. That would be an impressive point for them. For Columbus, rather, it's about winning this game. It's about 3 points. It's about beating your rival, continuing that 7-match unbeaten run, and really just picking your moments now. I felt earlier in the game they needed that second goal just to bury Cincinnati. They haven't found it yet, and I think now it's being risk averse, not taking too many chances defensively, and then counterattacking when you can with some of the speed and trying to find the second goal on the break with Cincinnati pushing forward.
By the way, hidden within that unbeaten run for Columbus, they've not actually won a home game since April 30th against DC United. Just one win in the last 6 at home. They've been shut out a league high 4 times. They got the 16th minute goal from Cucho as that one sails out past Alves Powell, and some frustrated body language there from Brandon Vasquez, who's had a very quiet night for one of the loudest goal scorers in MLS this year. 10 goals coming in, a career high, a Cincinnati season record. It's at least got him on the radar publicly of Greg Berhalter in the United States. 127 days away from the World Cup. Vasquez offside as that one pinged right back on him. But he has been starved for opportunities in this one.
He's got an interesting profile. Kobe talked about it in the pregame is his size. You can see that clearly, 6'3", strength. He can hold play up well, and that was the part of the game that Pat Noonan was talking about. He was doing the things well in front of goal at the beginning, scoring different types of goals, but then now wanting to add to his game, being able to drop into the midfield, play on the turn, bring other players into the game. And you've seen some of that tonight in some of his running off the ball, running into the channels and doing the dirty work. And he also recognized when we talked to Brandon Vasquez yesterday ahead of this game that, look, if you're scoring goals and you're in form, you're going to have a chance potentially to be in that picture if you're one of the best U.S. strikers in this league, especially as Cincinnati make another change.
And Murphy's day is done. Calvin Harris, second-year draft pick out of Wake Forest, will replace him, fifth and final substitution for Cincinnati. And Harris's first appearance in over 2 months. Steps forward to win the header, but Nagby wins it right back. Let's keep it away, though, to Ordonez. Medunjanin find the angle for Barrial on the run. Morera on a yellow card. Be careful defending there. Back it comes for the teenager Ordonez. Poked off the ball, Igbekeme. Igbekeme again. Hooks it in for Zelarayan. He's got Etienne on the far side. Hurtado making his way towards goal. Derek Etienne Jr. Hurtado behind him. Wobodo under some pressure. Zelarayan, is that blocked by Wobodo's arm? Yes, it is. Penalty for Columbus.
Crowd after seeing the replay clearly agree as this one came out, and it was a nice move from Columbus to open the play up, and this was part of the game that was going to happen. The more Cincinnati pushed into the attack, and Harris was out on that right-hand side. He was caught out. Etienne Jr. hanging out looking for Hurtado, and then it's the pressure on the weak side from Igbekeme that then draws the turnover. Here's the strike from Zelarayan. I think that might have been about 15 yards over the bar, but it doesn't matter. The hand is raised. It's a clear handball, and up steps Lucas Zelarayan to try and end that goal drought.
Columbus only one penalty attempt this year. Pedro Santos had it saved against Philadelphia just recently. Zelarayan hasn't taken a penalty since last year, only 1 or 2 in his Columbus career. Celentano, this is his first penalty faced. Zelarayan, the hesitation, and Columbus get their second goal.
He's been pulling the strings all night long for the Columbus crew, and when he gets his opportunity from the penalty spot, he gets a chance to end that drought, and boy does he. Just a nice little stutter to step, gets Celentano to bite, goes to his right, and then just rolls it into the corner to complete a night for him where he had the assist on the goal to Cucha Hernandez, and then now caps it with a goal to give the crew that second goal and give them that cushion once again and send them fully on their way now to 3 points at home in the Hellersville Derby.
First goal since March the 12th, 12 games without a goal, the longest in his 3 years with Columbus. He turned into a provider, 8 assists this year, the most of his 3 years. And he has been a Cincinnati killer in 5 games in this rivalry series. He has 4 goals and 4 assists, with 1 of each tonight. Incidentally, Cucho Hernandez was shown a yellow card in that goal celebration. Yes, he subbed off a while ago. He came off the bench to celebrate. He gets a yellow. But it does sell the point, and we got that in our chat with him the other day. Boy, is he excited to be in Columbus, to be the number 9, both in shirt number and in position. An opportunity to be an everyday starter, scoring goals. Talked about the facilities. The reporter said it was a pretty easy sell. All told, they had to pay plenty of money, but it was still a pretty easy sell, and you're seeing the results very quickly for a Columbus team that were a stoppage time goal Wednesday night. From talking about 3 straight wins right now, as Powell's tripped up. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Can Cincinnati get one here and make this interesting at the end? Columbus will bring on a third center back. Milos Degenek has an opportunity to play at the World Cup in 127 days with Australia. He will replace Lucas Celerayán, who gets a curtain call on his way off. Goal and an assist tonight.
And what the Crew have is just 2 difference makers. Next level difference makers in the forward part of the field, solid defensively. Degenek's gonna come on, they're gonna make that a back 5, I would imagine, just to try and see this one out, and especially here on the set piece, getting through this part. But Celerayán's got his buddy there, and Cucho Hernandez with a big smile as he comes off the field as well.
Barreal to take the ensuing free kick for Cincinnati, whipped right in on Room and punches it out. It's Room's 3rd minute save on Barreal. Is it a different game if that one goes in and Igbekeme pokes it away from Barreal as we're in the 90th minute now? Medunjanin wins it back. Ordonez resets. Robideau, Ordonez. Barreal clipping it up towards Vasquez, headed away by Williams. Igbekeme gets rid of it. Hurtado wants it through for him to chase. Hagelin beaten to it. Hurtado gets inside of him. Doesn't have much of an angle. Able to keep it. Celentano does just enough. Harris battles to keep it. Medunjanin for Barreal. His cross whipped in. There's Williams there in front of Vasquez. Stoppage time sponsored by AT&T 5G. 3 added minutes. Barreal again whips that in. That one's too far. Andres Santos off his chest, able to prevent the corner. Again for Robideau, sort of mishit that one. Powell gets to it. Just can't do anything with it. And then lifting it forward. Harris just misplays it. Into the 6th playoff position. Cincinnati now below them. It'll be the first time in 10 weeks the Crew are above the line. And this is the beginning of 7 out of 10 home games for them. They'll host New England on Saturday. Cincinnati hosts Nashville Saturday. That'll be the final game that Luciano Costa is suspended for. How much have they missed him tonight? How much of this is no Lucho Costa MVP candidate for Cincinnati?
He's a big miss for that team. 6 goals, 10 assists. I mean, that's an MVP type candidate, as you said. And I think what happened is that then they had to change the formation, and by that point down a goal, chasing the game. Then they went to a more familiar look, banged up at the back as well, and rotating, as Pat Noonan said. I do think Columbus are a better team between the two. But in saying that, this is a much improved Cincinnati team. And now for Pat Noonan, the challenge is going to be, okay, can we go again? You go up against a tough Nashville team. Then you play conference team in Inter Miami. And then it's Philadelphia top of the East. And then it's Atlanta. So it's tough games. for this group, if they can get healthy, if they can get Acosta going again, if they can keep Brenner and Vasquez, I think they can maybe sneak into a playoff spot, but it's going to be tough. It's really competitive in the Eastern Conference right around the playoff line. In fact, in the West as well. I mean, the West is just a jam, a log jam right around that playoff line. It's going to be a fascinating end of the season here, and one that, as you said, John, we've talked about a lot. This season ends a month earlier now.
Decision day at the beginning of October, not the beginning of November. So the season can finish Saturday night, November the 5th, live on Fox and MLS Cup 2 weeks before the World Cup begins. And that's it. Columbus continue to own the state of Ohio. Cucho Hernandez a goal in his first 3 games with the Crew. Lucas Celerayán a goal and an assist. Cincinnati shut out for the first time in 3 months. And plenty for Stu, Kobe, and Alexi to talk about as it finishes in the Hell is Real Derby. Columbus 2, Cincinnati 0.
So who's it going to be? Tom? Could be Danny.
Guess it's on Maggie.
Should we have another one?
Talk to us about retirement today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Mass Mutual.
Yes, sweet! For hanging that big old TV with just a little lean, you deserve a delicious Dr. Pepper.
I do?
Oh, yeah! And you're not the only one.
Maybe you got the kids to school.
But I was 20 minutes late.
Oh, Mama, parenting is hard. And you're sweet that you're doing great.
I just passed this test that proves I'm not a bot.
Not a bot, so hot.
COVID-19. Some people get it, and some people can get it bad. And for those who do get it bad, it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, asthma, or smoking. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, don't wait. Ask your healthcare provider right away if an authorized oral treatment is right for you.
If Damian Lillard let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets that shaped him. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Is Dad posting a farewell to his favorite college freshman? Nope. He's switching his choice cashback category to gas. The road to college can be emotional, but also rewarding.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep, I was stressed about it, and there were a few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get growing at Nutrafol.com.
Why pay over $100 a month for cable when it's half the cost for Fubo TV? Get all the channels you want, with all the entertainment you love, for the price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
I'm Gabby Lewis, co-founder of Magic Spoon. We grew up loving cereal, but as we got older, we realized it's mostly terrible for you. So we went on a journey to see if it was possible to recreate that taste and texture, but with actually good ingredients. Taste the magic for yourself at magicspoon.com.
Postgame is sponsored by Audi. Columbus, 2-0 winners over FC Cincinnati. The first goal courtesy of, who else? Cucho Hernandez, his 4th goal in 3 games. The Colombian continuing his red-hot start to life in Major League Soccer. Stu Holden, Kobe Jones, Alexi Lalas, along with you and the crew, maintaining their dominance in the Hell is Real derby. They've lost only 1 of 9 meetings. They own the state of Ohio. Alexi Lalas, take us through some of these highlights here from the first half. We're going to start all the way at the beginning of this one. It was FC Cincinnati who had a couple of chances, and it was Vasquez with some good running off the ball down the right channel.
Yeah, I mean, he gets wide open here. And as we mentioned, you know, while the scoreline certainly, I think, is reflective of Columbus being a better team, Cincinnati had their opportunities. So they were coming up with a big save early on.
13th minute now, Darlington Nagbe spinning on a dime, a little cutting pass for Cucho. And you like the little intuition on the finish there.
I do. Very Romario-esque, but the little toe poke. He's always looking for goal.
Speaking of goals, Zelarayan, Cucho, we've seen this story before.
Look at this. And this is not as easy as he makes it look. Basically back to the goal, and he just gets a nice little flick on that beautiful frosted tip right there. And it goes in the far side. Man is on fire.
Yeah, that was their last 3 goals for the crew. It's been Zelarayan to Cucho Hernandez. The crew came again. This time Zelarayan looking for a goal. Celentano batting that one away.
Lots of opportunities. He saw it all the way. Yeah, he knows. He knows he didn't quite get that curl that he was looking for to that far post.
Well, he was going to get his chance. As Columbus came down that left-hand side, once again cleared away. Zelarayan, Mobido, penalty.
Eventually a penalty was going to come, right? I mean, not the first time, maybe not the second time, but definitely this one.
Well, Zelarayan had gone 12 games without a goal for the Columbus crew. That streak ended tonight, rolled that one into the corner. And that was the exclamation point. Oh, yeah, look at little shaking those hips. And here's what it means in the standings as we take a look at the Credible.com Eastern Conference and standings. And it's Philadelphia Union still at the top, NYC FC after their win, just 1 point behind. And Columbus above the playoff line now, who jumped above FC Cincinnati. Look, let's just dig into Cucho Hernandez. He was the big money star. They went out, they paid the close to $10 million rumored fee for him. And once again, he produced in his first start for the club.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good, certainly in the most important part, which is putting the ball in the back of the net, and he continues to do that. So if this continues in this direction, this is going to be an inspired signing. And I'm not saying they didn't pay plenty of money for it, but it looks to be good money. And why it's good is not only the goals, but I think the way that he has energized and maybe re-energized this Columbus team. And it is impacted in a positive way. I think a lot of players, you already saw it here tonight, and that's what you want when somebody comes in. And still early days, but so far so good. This looks to be a signing that is going to fundamentally change the fortunes of the Columbus crew, not just scoring goals, but just playing better and being more competitive with much more motivation and excitement and confidence.
That was terrific atmosphere at Lower.com. You can see the new stadium and the fans, they're re-energized as well. Kobe, we talk about putting the ball in the back of the net. In order to put the ball in the back of the net, you need service. I feel the connection between Zelarayan and Cucho Hernandez is really blossoming in such an early stage. But how important is Zelarayan, and how good was he tonight?
Let me tell you, the happiest person that Cucho is there is Zelarayan. It's someone that he can connect with. And everything that we've talked about, if you notice all the highlights, we keep hearing Zelarayan, Zelarayan, Zelarayan. He's the puppet master. He makes everything happen. He assists to Cucho on the first goal. He draws the penalty for the second goal. He moves the ball around and brings everybody into the game, makes everybody a little bit better by his movement off the ball and his passing.
Well, signings can re-energize teams at this point. You talked about that with Columbus. Speaking of another team that has done that, LAFC. Chiellini started for them. Gareth Bale on the bench. They're in action right now. And we're going to show you how they're faring against Nashville on the road. Stay tuned. Highlights from that one coming up after the break.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft. Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less? You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Open. Here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
You may kiss the bride.
Love you, Dad.
Oh my God. It's our baby girl.
It's true. Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy S22 with a Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition.
Really? Even if my old phone looks like this?
Dude, why?
How could you? It's okay, people. I've trained for this.
It's not complicated. New and existing customers get a free new Samsung Galaxy S22 with the Galaxy trade-in.